Yes, people, welcome back to Transfer Talk. Two alternative options to Hugo Ekitike. Now, patience is wearing thin with Hugo Ekitike. Newcastle fans were getting railed up last night with his Instagram story here. Making that what you will, or people who overreacting, or people right. The majority didn't like it. They were saying that the N was for Newcastle, enjoy, but people are saying there's also something in France that is that. I can't remember what it was, like a record company or some shit. Either way, it's a bit boring now, and it's a bit annoying. I mean, if you look at what went to Nick Pope. Nick, do you want to come to Newcastle? I'd love to. Week's time signs. Yeah? Now with Botman and Ekitike, Botman, it's more so the club. Obviously, it's more so Lille taking the piss, keep on moving the goalposts on the asking price. With Ekitike, we keep on hearing his agents advising him badly. His agents waiting for other clubs to get involved. His agent wants more money. Yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I'm just thinking, sack him off. Just go for someone else. There's plenty of attacking options out there, two of which I'm naming in this video. That came from an article from iNews. Mark Douglas, who used to work from the Chronicle, good journalist indeed. So he's saying that these two strikers are an alternative option. Let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to start off with a name that everyone is familiar with from the past season in the Premier League, from Southampton. On loan, he was at Southampton. He is a Chelsea player. He was born in England. He represents Albania. It is Armando Broja. Now, he's corrected people for ages. Match of the day, everyone was calling him Broja. And a lot of people still call him Broja or Broja. He said in an interview himself, it's Broja. Armando Broja, 20 years old. Stats on the screen there. You can see his goal scoring record and whatnot. I mean, it's decent. I mean, he got off to an absolute sensational start in the Premier League. That first 6 months, he was an animal. He was an absolute beast up top. Right handful, goal scorer, presence in the box. You know, he was a nuisance. A really, really talented young striker, which he is. You know, Chelsea have got plenty of them. Not Lukaku, but plenty of young players, I mean, who they've put out on loan here and there and everywhere and end up buying them back for a fortune. Lukaku. So we'll see. I mean, but Broja, he's about to report for Chelsea pre-season next week when it kicks off all over again. This is another thing as well, just on a sidetrack. Pre-season starts on the 1st of July, a week today. Next Friday, pre-season starts. So Eddie Howe, Dan Ashworth want players in as soon as possible. They were wanting Botman and Ekitike in there for pre-season from the off. Pope's in there, Target's in there. I think if it comes by Tuesday, Wednesday and we haven't got Ekitike in, we'll move on to these targets if we haven't already. People are reporting this morning that we have made a formal approach for Broja to Chelsea. Chelsea are willing to listen to offers both loan and permanent. It's rumoured that West Ham are interested in signing Broja for £30 million. That's huge money. I would say he's worth about 25. I mean, we've seen what he can do in the Premier League. That's the thing with Broja. Ekitike, very highly rated, French youngster, 1 season in Ligue 1. Who knows what we're going to get there? Do you know what I mean? I think he'll be a great player. Obviously, everyone else does. People at the club do. That's why they're willing to pump up the cash for him. But Broja, you've seen, he's tried and tested in the Premier League. We know what he can do, and he will improve with the legs of Eddie Howe coaching him. He would massively kick on, I'm sure of it. But that goal scoring record, it is good. And you've got to remember, he's only 20-year-old. So it is good. Could be better. He tailed off second half of the season, just like Southampton did, mind. Somehow they nearly got themselves in a relegation scrap. Should never have been the case. They were flying. He was flying the first half of the season. He is a handful. He would be a great option off the bench or maybe up top with Wilson. Depends on what Eddie Howe's working on formation-wise. But I think Armando Broja would be a very good option. We're going to move back to the French League now. Back to Ligue 1, and it is Amine Gouiri. Now, Gouiri is a top talent. He's another one like Ekitike, but he's a bit more established than Ekitike, to be honest. He has his stats on the screen here. 22 years of age. High price tag for him as well, mind. You know, you're going to get that. I think you could probably get him for around 30-35 million at a push. But Nice, they've got money. They don't really have to sell. You know what I mean? If we came in, I'm sure Gouiri would be tempted and they would be tempted. But it's not like they need to sell, and Nice will probably just copy off Lille and just see what they're doing with us with Botman and just keep raising the price. So it's going to be a hard window. But Amine Gouiri is a huge talent. He's very sought after. He's been looked at by Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, are big admirers of Amine Gouiri. He's played for France in the 21s. It's just a matter of time before he breaks through to the first team. People in France are calling him the next Karim Benzema. So that's a massive statement, obviously. That's a huge statement. He kind of prefers to play off the left though. So what would that mean for St. Maximin? What would that mean for Newcastle's dynamic going forward? All these things that Eddie Howe would have to obviously work out, and I'm sure he's looking at in those transfer targets. but he likes to play on the left, cut it on his right foot and slot it home. He likes to do that. He's described as an electric, tricky attacker, constantly terrorising defences in League 1. He shows traits of being a mobile striker, but is also a useful poacher when he is played centrally, so that is an option as well. In the season before last, he had 17 goals and 7 assists, so he's a fine player technically and capable of repeating efforts at a high intensity, says Christophe Galtier, his manager. We'll talk about him more in depth if anything did seriously develop. I think we don't want to get too far deep into him just yet, but it's certainly an attractive option for Newcastle. I mean, to be honest, there's a part of me that would prefer Gouiri over Ekitike. I think Gouiri's more established. I'm more convinced by Gouiri, and there is the things that are coming out now from Ekitike and on Instagram and all that, not just his dress sense that's lifting, but is his mindset in the right place? Is he, you know, people are saying, is he cocky, is he this, is he that? He's not really putting himself in a great light so far. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into it, and I would obviously give him a chance if he's signed, absolutely, and I was very excited by the prospect of signing him, but as this drags out, I'm starting to question him and his agents' morals and thinking, to be honest with you. So could we look at Amine Gouiri? I mean, he's a very, very exciting talent as well from France. Probably more rated than Ekitike, I would have thought, because he's been in the spotlight a little bit longer. He's still only 22, but he's been in the scene. He's played more games in Ligue 1 than Ekitike, and he's got that bit more about him, I think, to be honest. Who will come good overall? Well, time will tell. Let us know what you think about Newcastle's striking options. Obviously, these are just two I've picked out from an article from last night from iNews. I'm sure there'll be hundreds of other strikers that are linked with Newcastle that you could choose from. Pop them in the comments. Who would you like to see us saying? Who should we be going for? Remember to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel TV, and enjoy yourself.